Let me fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch. Maybe that one.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the newest episode of Filmoscopy Podcast. Today, we will be discussing the 1992 film Batman Returns. But first, a couple of other topics of discussion. I guess we'll start with Lance. Let's hear your quick review of The Naked Gun.
Yeah, so I just saw The Naked Gun, which, as this is recording, just came out yesterday. When you hear this, it's probably going to be on Blu-ray at that point. It's not as great as the original trilogy, in my opinion, just because I have a soft spot in my heart for Leslie Nielsen. But Liam Neeson does a really good job. Me and Savannah kind of agreed the first third of the movie was okay. And then there's a turning point, and then everything else gets kind of funny. You probably, while watching the trailer, know what scene, causes extreme laughter. I was laughing so hard I was crying. I had tears in my eyes because it just kept going. I thought it was just, I'm immature as fuck, so I think it was good. A quick liner that I really enjoy because it reminds me of how they used to do it. The bad guy introduces himself. Well, he just goes, Lieutenant Drebin. And then Liam Neeson goes, me too, as they shake hands. Because he's thinking he's introducing himself as Lieutenant Drebin goes, me too. And it's like the first movie, I never forget that Leslie Nielsen, the bad guy goes, Lieutenant Drebin, he goes, the feeling's mutual. And then there's the one where they got the guy in the wheelchair in part 2 where he goes, don't get up. I mean, that's this classic little shit that eventually we're going to cover on this podcast because those movies are great. But yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing it. Definitely when you get home. I don't necessarily know. I hate saying this. If I would go pay to go see it again, it wasn't that good, But I think they did a pretty good job. I was really worried with Seth MacFarlane taking the helm that it was going to be a lot of Family Guy fucking humor. And I'm just I just stay away from gags. My fucking franchise. But I'm really glad they didn't make the movie with Ed Helms like they were talking about 10 years ago, because that would have fucking sucked ass. Ed Helms is not funny. And he's not like Leslie Nielsen style funny. That wouldn't have worked. Mm-hmm. I still think, in my opinion, Steve Carell would have been perfect for it. He would have just done the role perfect. But anyway, so yeah, I definitely recommend seeing it. If you want to go to the theater and have a good time, I would do it. It's probably a better bet to watch it from home. So.
All right. So I guess also before we start, we will talk about the Mortal Kombat 2 movie trailer that came out, I guess it's about a week or two ago at this point, right?
Yeah, man. That motherfucker. Whew, my nipples were hard and something else was too.
Shao Kahn torn to shreds.
Shao Kahn looked great. But no, the Shao Kahn, they kept him in the dark because I feel like, again, the more you see his costume, it's going to look goofy. Kind of like the bad guy thing, like in the Conjuring movies, they show the ghost too much, and by the end, you're like, it looks kind of stupid. Yeah. Like when the Nun, like the Conjuring 2 was terrifying. Then by the end of it, I'm like, that's just Marilyn Manson. But yeah, so it looks good. I'm excited for it. It's going to be interesting to explain why Jade is bald. And
people
Katana
are really upset about that for
I mean, because you got to understand, the only time they've ever had Jade on screen was played by a chick who wasn't an experienced actor. It was her first time ever acting, and I don't think she got many more gigs after that, so she sucked. And, they actually got an African-American woman playing Jade, who is African-American-ish in the game.
This actress, I don't remember her name, but she's great in everything I've seen her in. And she's been in a few things now that I've seen her in, but So I'm not really concerned about her being bald or whatever.
Jade also
Who
isn't your favorite
cares?
character.
Bald.
That's the
Bald.
one thing. Like, you gotta understand, there is a fan base for these characters. If fucking Sub Zero was like an amalgamation of the two Sub Zero brothers, and he was like Bihan in name, a lot of people would be pissed. I mean, look, a lot of people sit there, and I know you're not one of them, but there's a big section of the fan base that's pissed off about Mortal Kombat 1 that Hanzo is not Scorpion. Like, I'm not the only one. Like, one of the first things they bring up is like, yeah, Hanzo needs to be Scorpion. No more of this Kuai Liang bullshit. And,
Yeah.
like, Jade, her being bald, they said there's going to be a reason for her, which is cool, but you may only have this one chance to have Jade on screen. Like, this movie may flop and they may not touch Mortal Kombat for another 20 years like they did before. So it's like, can we not just get an accurate depiction? Pretty stoked about Noob Saibot. A lot of people were mad that his little poster, it says Bihan and not Noob Saibot. And History Behind the Warrior, who's a pretty big YouTuber for Mortal Kombat and all fighting games, really, said that, I think the general public, if they saw that poster and it says Noob Saibot, they would laugh, saying that's a dumb name. So they called him Bihan from the first movie.
Yeah, I mean his name is Beyond. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the character's name, but a lot of people just don't go by it. Like, they call him
well,
Bihan and Kuai Liang when they're both still Sub-Zero, but like when you say Sub-Zero, everybody generally consists of, okay, that's Kuai Liang. Noob
I
Saibot's
think
Bihan.
I think it works for people who may not be familiar with the game lore, right? And they went and they saw the first movie, you know, from a few years ago, and they're like, okay, I know who Bihan is. So you see this poster, and it's like, oh shit, like Bihan looks different. What's going on here? You know what I
He's
mean? Like,
black.
yeah, for those of us who are really into the games or whatever, we understand the difference. But for a general moviegoer, they don't know who the fuck Noob Saibot is.
No, I know. That's why I am pretty stoked. Like I said, I've always been an OG Sub-Zero fan. When I found out he was Noob Saibot, he's always, because for games, like, once he died and you find out Mortal Kombat 2, which took me like 10 years to figure out because I never got the ending, that Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat 2 is the younger brother. So literally from Mortal Kombat 2, 1993 to 2019 Mortal Kombat 11, every Sub-Zero but Mythology Sub-Zero is the younger brother Kuai Liang. So Bihan was only Mythology Sub-Zero and then the original game. And then in Deception, they reveal that well, they haven't named him yet, Bihan, but you find out in Deception in 2004 that Noob Saibot is the original Sub-Zero that Scorpion killed. It's like, oh shit, really? It's like a perfect little match. It wasn't by design. That was an accident. They literally bought that idea from a fan who suggested it on a message board. It just happened a happy accident that it fit perfectly. But the first movie of this reboot era Mortal Kombat movie, um, it did justice. Like, Bihan was the villain of the fucking movie, the original Sub-Zero. He fucking, like, some of his music cues were very serial killer-ish, which was pretty badass. And then him and Scorpion had the best scenes in the movie at the beginning and at the end. Everything else is kind of hit or miss. But having Hanzo Hasashi and Bihan, which to me is, I know Mortal Kombat always advertises it as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but since I'm such a huge fan of the lore, the rivalry that started it all was Hanzo and Bihan. So for me, it's cool to see that in this they're having like the rubber match. So in the OG timeline, Bihan killed Hanzo, and then they fought again in Hell in an optional fight on Mythologies, and Bihan won that. And then Scorpion killed him in the first game. And then Noob Saibot and Scorpion never interact again until the reboot Mortal Kombat 9. Like, there is no interaction whatsoever between them. And then I'm assuming Mythologies happens. Sub-Zero kills Scorpion, or I guess in that timeline, Sub-Zero actually didn't kill Scorpion. It was Quan Chi disguised as Sub-Zero. So Scorpion killed Bihan in the wrong. Like, he killed him and he became Noob Saibot, and then they had one more interaction. So in this movie, we're actually getting a rubber match. Like, Bihan killed Hanzo. Hanzo had a tag team with Plot Armor, Cole Young in the second one, or in the second fight to kill Bihan. So we're finally getting one more match. And so I'm pretty stoked about that. Like, that's what I care about, is those two characters. Katana looks pretty hot. I mean, the chick who plays her looks pretty hot, and I've heard she's a good actress. Just kind of
Um,
wish she she had a more of a C cup and not an A cup. You know what I'm saying?
The trailer. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Johnny Cage is going to be like the main character of this movie.
Do you think
Which
Carl Urban looked great as Johnny Cage? I do.
I don't think he looked great, but he looks better than I thought, because when they announced that Carl Urban was going to play Johnny Cage, I was a little bit concerned, I guess, that it wouldn't really look right. But if you think of Johnny Cage at like a point in his life where he is, and I guess this is how they're kind of portraying it, but he's at that point where he is kind of a washed up, martial arts movie actor or whatever. He's about the right age for that sort of character. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great. But one thing I do hope is that they just kill Cole Young off.
Yeah,
I hate Cole Young.
Yeah, I don't want to see any. Well, they didn't really show him. He shows up in the trailer, right? But like not for very long.
He's in the background saying, like I said, I've spoiled myself for a few things that were on Reddit that people have seen when they went to go to a secret showing. So if you don't like Cole Young, I feel like you're gonna like this movie. But also the Johnny Cage. No, I'm just saying, like, from a perspective, like, he is not the focal point like he was.
Right.
Like, the first one. Like the first one, it was all about Cole Young. Like this movie, from what I've read, has switched to a Johnny Cage / Katana Central movie, which is like fucking great. And I think, from what I understand, they were talking about it on this podcast that's on YouTube called Combat Kings. It's 3 pretty big fighting game community YouTubers, mainly Mortal Kombat, called The Fourth Snake, True Underdog Gaming, and then I can't remember the other dude. I don't know why I can't fucking remember his name. He's a big Reptile fan. I wish I could fucking remember his name. But anywho, they were talking about it, and I think Underdog Gaming said that, from what he understands, they needed a marquee name so they could get this movie released in theaters. So they got Carl Urban and then wrote the character Johnny Cage to fit Carl Urban's age. So they didn't hire Carl Urban and say, you're Johnny Cage. They got Carl Urban to sign on. We're like, okay, he's going to have to be Johnny Cage. Let's just fit the character around his age and skill set. And to be honest,
that's a good approach to it then.
And to be honest with you, Carl Urban, like, I've seen him in Chronicles of Riddick. I've heard he's great in The Boys. He's hilarious in Thor Ragnarok. I mean, he's hilarious in Thor Ragnarok. So he's a very versatile actor.
Who is he in Thor Ragnarok?
He's the dude that takes over for Heimel, the Guardian. He's the one who's got the fucking guns. And he's trying to show off with the 2 chicks. And he's the one that ends up serving Helene. I can't remember her fucking name. Thor's sister.
Hela.
So he's the dude that's got the kind of shaved head with a little ponytail in the back.
It's been a while. I can't even remember that character. But
just Google real quick Carl Urban, Thor Ragnarok. You'll see who I'm talking about. So he is a very, like, versatile actor. So it's not like, oh man, we got Vin Diesel, he's playing Johnny Cage. It's like, yo, it's all about family. And that's what you're expecting. Like, he said the thing. Or you having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson play Black Adam. This is not what this is. So I think Carl is going to be fucking great.
Yeah. So I don't want Black Adam to fight Shazam. I think that is beneath him. And quite frankly, Zachary Levi can go fuck himself. Black Adam. If I'm going to be Black Adam, he's definitely having to fight Superman. Okay.
Well, no, to be fair,
the hierarchy of power is about to change, Lance.
I get it.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is here. Okay.
I was cool with it because he was bringing Henry Cavill back, but James Gunn didn't have that in his bingo cards, which is fine.
Well, DCEU, I think at that point that was Warner Brothers. We're not going to go down this tangent, but that was definitely Warner Brothers just trying to, like, desperately save what they had, and that's why they brought The Rock in. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to give you, like, creative control over this whole thing. Like, the grand plan was to basically make The Rock, like, the one overseeing the DC movies. And it's just like, no. that screams the same bullshit that is like, hey, you know this Mummy movie we're making? Tom Cruise is starring in it. Yeah, we'll give him the ability to just rewrite the fucking script how he sees fit. Fuck it. He knows what he's doing, right?
Well, I
Get
mean,
out
he
of
he
here.
he did make over $1 billion with the second Top Gun movie. So,
That's Top Gun, not the Mummy. You know what I
well, I
mean?
mean,
Like, and
it's
that
it's
Mummy
still.
movie
I
was
mean,
garbage.
they're looking at it as Tom Cruise is like a legitimate action star, and fucking the fatal, the Fast and the Furious movies didn't hit $1 billion until The Rock joined in. Now, I don't think he was the first. He was the reason Fast and Furious 4 hit $1 billion, but they spun that off into he's in the next couple movies, then he gets his own movies, and all those movies make a shit ton of money. So he's the highest grossing actor on the
Yeah,
planet.
that's
So he had
fine.
a
I
lot of
don't care.
cachet.
I don't care that he was going to be in the movies. That's not my issue with it. My issue was giving him creative control over the movies. Like,
Well, well. You also got to understand he'd been working for almost 10 years to get that movie off the ground. Like he'd been
yeah,
attached to a Black Adam project since 2007, like before The Dark Knight came out. Like this was a
mm,
slow thing. So it wasn't like, oh, the only reason he signed on for this. Like, no, he was working on it. He just wanted to make sure, in his mind, he made it a badass movie. And watching it, it's not a bad movie. It's not
it's
great.
fine. Yeah, it's not great by any
Yeah, I mean,
means.
I'm gonna say, like, fuck. To be honest
I
with you,
don't
it's
buy the whole I don't buy the whole Black Adam as an anti-hero thing. It's like, yeah, I
no,
get that he nearly destroyed the city like 6,000 years ago or whatever, but and trust
it's
me,
not.
I just watched this. I just watched Black Adam again like 4 days ago or something. Um,
Yeah,
but it's just like I get that, but it's like they keep trying to stress like, oh, he's not a hero. It's like, but what is he doing that's really drastically? I just literally watched the Snyder cut where Wonder Woman threw a man against the wall and like he fucking exploded essentially, and there was blood everywhere. Like, how is what The Rock is doing in this any different than what Wonder Woman did to the fucking guy trying to blow up the
no,
bank?
I know. No, here's the thing
You
for me
know?
though. So I think this is a hot take. I think Black Adam isn't as good as the Venom movies because they're not as entertaining and funny as the Venom movies. I think it's on par with Morbius. Is that a hot take?
Ooh,
That's a hot
yeah.
take.
Morbius ain't that bad of a movie. Everybody makes it out to be. It's not great, but it's fine.
I don't think Black Adam's as bad as Morbius though.
I don't know, man. I'm
Anyway,
hungry. You don't like me when I'm hungry.
Owen,
Yes.
do you have any thoughts on the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer?
Yeah. I mean, it looked okay. I remember from what I saw, it looked like. I mean, it's been a while since I watched it, but
Been a while.
it's been a while. But it looked all right. I can't even really remember much of the last movie, honestly.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
to be fair, my friend.
Do what?
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm,
No, go ahead.
I'm kind of
Go
in the
ahead.
same. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm gonna have to rewatch the first one before going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is what I would like to do if you guys are okay with this. When it comes out, Owen, I need your ass up here in Clarksville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want
Okay.
I want to go have breakfast, just me and you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
What the
I
fuck?
I want
Fuck
Cody.
off.
I'm just Cody. No, I would like to have Cody come up to Clarksville as well, and let's go see. Because I went to Phoenix theaters last night again for the Naked Gun, and I think it's pretty fucking dope. Like it's comfortable chairs. I just wish the fucking leg part went up just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But it's probably to do so people don't fall asleep in the fucking chairs. If you feel like your feet are about to fall off, you're just like, it's like a kid in a high chair almost. But other than that, super clean, great theater. I want to see it there, and then I guess we can go get some breakfast and then go our separate ways. And then later on that night, we do this like a live reaction that Cody can just push out Monday.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Owen, when that happens?
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, lucky for you guys, all the Mortal Kombat stuff, because I guess they're doing that to ramp up for. I find this shit interesting how and why they put movies on streaming services. Like they
Yeah,
have
they've added them
everything
all to
Mortal
like Max or whatever.
Yeah, so they have everything Mortal Kombat, from what I understand, on Max. That's Mortal Kombat 95, Annihilation, the Legacy web series, which is season 1 and 2, Conquest, that season, and they have Mortal Kombat, all the Legends movies, Scorpion, Battle of the Realms, Snowblind, and the Cage Match. And then they've got the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie on there as well. So you guys can watch that anytime it's convenient. It's the only thing they don't have on there.
I've got the Blu-rays of the live action movies.
No, I do too. The only thing they don't have on there, and I think they're embarrassed of it. And to be honest with you, I actually go back and watch it more than I probably do the live action stuff. Is
Mortal Kombat XXX.
They have that.
Mortal Kombat.
Well, they have the gay version. That's what I'm stuck with.
Damn.
No, I'm joking. No, it's the Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins, which is a 25-minute prequel animation video, which is fucking terrible looking. They use 3D animations, just fucking god awful. But I just like listening to the lore, and I think they have the guy who does the original Winnie the Pooh, Jim Cummings, I think. He's Shang Tsung and Sub-Zero in that game, or in that movie. And then they have Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which is like 13 episodes long. It's like a 20-minute cartoon. It's on YouTube. And I know it's not great, but I still like watching it. That's just me. So, yeah, everything Mortal Kombat. We'll do that Mortal Kombat thing. Also, Cody will lie on air and we'll put you on the spot before we get into Batman Returns. So, as it progresses with our recording schedule, next time is going to be Jason X. And then Owen's movie, which is Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yes.
And then your next movie, which is Batman, which is the one with Jim Carrey again? Forever. Okay, so it's going to be Batman Forever. Then I've got Freddy vs. Jason. And then you two movies. And I got the reboot Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. So, after that, what I would like from you, Cody, if it's cool with you, after I get through Friday the 13th, we'll do Owen's movie, then your movie, and then another one of your movies. You take my turn, and then an Owen movie, and then I get back-to-back movies. It's kind of important for me to... Because it's kind of important for the movie. I don't want to say what I'm going to pick.
You want to do them closer together.
I want to do them back-to-back. So I can get Owen, because Owen has never watched his franchise, the two movies I'm going to pick. So he's going to see back-to-back these two movies, and I want to get his honest reaction, because I know which way you're going to go when you decide between the two, which one you like better, and I know which way I'm going to go. So Owen's going to be the tiebreaker.
Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. Is that it?
No. It's if we're going to go ahead and do it, like I say, it's going to be like fucking 4 months down the way, probably longer than that. It's going to be the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie. And then the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Then the Dragon Ball Z Bio Broly movie. No, I'm just kidding, not Bio Broly. And not Broly's Second Coming. But I'm going to get Owen's honest opinion if he likes the Z Broly that's got Pantera playing, or if he likes the Super Broly, which is just a slightly taller Yamcha-looking guy.
Super.
So... that's what I'm interested in doing. Because I've had discussions. Cody says, well, I like the Super one better, which is fine. I had a discussion with somebody, and everybody goes, well, the Z Broly is just a mindless brute. And I'm like, he's mindless when he transforms, but then he's like really fucking evil, and it's awesome. So, so he does Kakarot as he's transforming, but then he's completely... Like, I'm just going to fuck everything up and making jokes throughout the rest of the movie. Like, he is not insane. That's the second Broly movie when all he utters is, Kakarot. That's it. So.
Broly, look. Is it
be wildin'. I can't say it. Be wildin'.
So, if we're ready to move on.
Yep. Talking about DC. I was kind of hoping that DC transition would have been your movie, but,
Lance.
Anyway.
Well, I needed to ask Owen what his opinion was of the trailer, because we...
my bad.
Lance,
mm-hmm.
What did curiosity do to the cat?
Fucked her right in the pussy.
Ooh. So, we're talking about Batman Returns. And I wrote another quick synopsis. It's shorter than the last time I did this for Batman, and I feel like it's a little bit more concise. So, bear with me.
Okay.
Batman returns, and this time with a normal-sized head. In the follow-up to the 1989 classic, Batman must work to take down multiple foes, including the callous Max Schreck, the vile Penguin, and the undead Catwoman. Will he succeed?
Hollywood undead. Forget about
Wait,
the way.
so does Tim Burton confirm that Selena Kyle's like a zombie cat lady? I mean, I guess she is, but
I just wrote it. I wrote in the synopsis a little bit of a joke, but yeah, I mean, because she technically dies, she confirms that she died and came back. So I mean, even if she's not really a zombie, she's technically undead, I guess.
Zombie. Hey, quick question. And this is the question everybody needs to ask. Since she's a zombie, do you think that pussy still gets wet?
What's in your head?
when she cries, her fucking eyes get wet enough in this movie. So
She's like, oh.
yeah, I would assume.
So real quick.
Before we get into it, let me run down the basic details real quick. So,
I got a question.
Owen already mentioned the movie is once again directed by Tim Burton. It was released on June 19th, 1992. The runtime is 126 minutes. It had a budget of somewhere between $50 and $80 million, and it brought in a box office of $266.8 million.
And they thought that was a failure.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues, right, with the production, and it's not necessarily just the amount of money it brought in. It was a lot of we kind of talked about this briefly when we covered the '89 Batman, but basically when they made this movie, they basically just allowed Tim Burton to just go wild with it, right? With the first film, they had a lot of restraints on him. You know, yes, you can do this, no, don't do that sort of thing. With this, it's very much a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, you notice it almost right away.
Oh yeah, I mean the aesthetics, just I mean it's crazy. I mean I love this movie. Just to get it out there, I love it. I think it's a lot better than '89 Batman.
So is this so in that scenario, Cody? Is this like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
Oof. I guess technically yeah, but it's not a pile of hot trash like Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Look,
2.
I don't want you saying anything about that fucking albino horse, you piece of shit. You understand? I got a quick question though, Cody.
Yes.
In this movie, I know you're probably going to get into it, but I'm extremely curious. This is the movie that he planned to introduce his version of Robin, who's going to be African American, and there was going to be a slight Harvey Dent role, but then that got cut. Correct?
So I'm glad you brought this up because I actually have notes on this, and I will go ahead and talk about that now. Originally a writer by the name of Sam Hamm wrote a couple of different drafts for this, and it was his original draft was supposed to have Harvey Dent, the role being reprised by Billy D. Williams, and it was going to follow his like descent into becoming Two-Face. The studio did not want Two-Face. Instead, they wanted Penguin because at the time they thought of Penguin as like Batman's number 2 biggest villain behind the Joker.
Well, what a fucking time to be alive.
Yes, in one of Sam Hamm's drafts, he also had a plan to introduce Robin, and Vicky Vale was also supposed to come back. Obviously, in this movie, she's not there. They kind of have a couple of lines talking about how the relationship between Bruce and Vicky failed because she couldn't deal with the duality of Batman and Bruce Wayne. So, hold on. Sorry, let me turn the page here.
Turn the page.
Turn the page.
They brought in another writer, and he's the guy that actually ended up writing it. Tim Burton wanted to change writers after not being pleased with Sam Hamm's 2 separate drafts, and he wanted someone to come in who he had worked with before and also didn't really have like a deep like connection to Batman, right? Like he didn't. Sam Hamm is very much a comic book guy and a big fan of Batman. And Tim Burton wanted someone else to come in and write it from a more objective perspective, I guess. In that draft, Robin was still there, and he was already cast. Marlon Wayans was cast as Robin, and the character, the way it was written in the script, the way Batman was going to meet Robin was that. As stupid as it sounds, something was going to happen to the Batmobile. It was going to be damaged, and he had to take it to a mechanic shop. And Robin was a mechanic who worked there, and that's how they would meet.
He's like, your tire pressure's a little low. You should get that changed.
It's just Bruce Wayne sitting in there with just like casual clothes, and he's just got the cowl on to make sure no one knows that it's him.
He's fucking
Nah, I ain't
sitting
gonna
in the he's sitting in the waiting room. He's looking at his watch. He's like, "It's been 2 hours." Like, sorry, sir. Look.
What's interesting to me is that you say that, because when he was reading on his computer screen about like the little circus people that became the Red Triangle Gang or whatever, for some reason in my mind I wasn't quite paying attention when he was talking about the circus. Like, is he talking about Dick Grayson already? Like in my mind, like he was looking at like the Dick Grayson thing. But also,
yeah, no, it was just the story, I guess, because after Penguin was abandoned by his parents, I guess the circus found him, and he became like a sideshow act at the circus.
What is
okay? I didn't know that at all. I was thinking to myself, to be honest with you, like the Red Triangle Gang were like followers of the Joker.
what
Like, I was
is
thinking
No,
clown
yeah,
makeup and shit.
Yeah, they say there's a line where when he's reading one of those news articles or whatever, it talks about like the Bird Boy, and it's referring to Penguin, I guess, when he was a kid and being an act in the circus.
the butt boy? Hey, what is the Penguin's backstory? If you guys just know off the top of your head, what is it in the comics?
So it is.
No idea.
It's different. It's different. I mean, Batman and Penguin is such an old character for Batman that there's so many different variations. But generally, I think the most common one is that he's like a crime boss.
Yeah, he's just like
right?
a mob boss, right? Like they don't really go into.
Yeah, just pretty much your regular mob boss. He's nicknamed the Penguin because he just kind of has that sort of look. I think a lot of interpretations do give him with like a hook nose or something, and
Yeah.
he's sort of short and squat.
You you do say that, Cody. Let me just say this real quick. This movie was coming out at the same time that they were doing the final development. You all right, Riley? Okay. Oh Lord, I didn't mean to say anything. These will start talking. Anyway, so the Batman animated series was coming out this year, and it was already in development as this movie was in development. And they literally changed a few things, I think, to fit the aesthetic of this movie to the show. Like Penguin had a different design, and then they literally based their design on Penguin on that show off of Danny DeVito's Penguin. So it's pretty cool that this movie, and obviously the theme that they're using for this Batman Returns, they actually use in the animated series. It's the same guy that composes it, and it's the same version of it. So,
Yeah.
hey Riley, what's wrong with it? Yeah.
So to finish your question, Owen.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
He is typically born to wealthy parents, and I don't think he's necessarily like abandoned for being some sort of freak or whatever. He grows up. I think a lot of times it's interpreted like his parents like basically go broke, so they fall on hard times, and like the other wealthy families sort of just like abandon them, so it makes Penguin become spiteful of them, including the Waynes. There are several interpretations where Bruce and Oswald were actually like childhood friends or whatever.
Yeah.
And Bruce kind of forgot about them because, again, they went broke and basically just disappeared from that
Bruce is like,
circle.
I forget all poor people in my life. Sorry.
But yeah, that's sort of what it is. Again, there's many variations. The character's like a very old character. I mean, this character was also on the Adam West show, back in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, the actor who played Penguin on the Adam West series, Burgess Meredith, was supposed to make a cameo in this film as Penguin's dad, and unfortunately, he became really sick before
He had
during the
Alzheimer's.
time that. Yeah, so he ended up not being able to do it, which is unfortunate.
He did one more role around this time, because he was in a movie. It came out. I want to say it came out in '92 or '93. So maybe he was already sick, but he maybe have a different illness, because he's in a movie called Grumpy Old Man, and he's the granddad in that movie, and he's fucking hilarious in that movie. And then
people say, I've always heard that his last role was like.
Is Grumpier Old Man Part 2.
Really good.
Well, it's like he dies around, I think his post-production of it, he passes away as that movie's being done. and the characters killed off in Grumpier Old Men too. Like this is a great fucking like. I'm gonna eventually pick them probably too because they're good comedy movies. But you could tell they had to help him through his lines on that movie because he had already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's at that point. And that movie came out like '95. So, but yeah, he's a pretty fucking funny, and obviously he's Rocky's trainer in Rocky 1, 2, and 3.
Speaking of helping someone through their lines, that brings me to my next topic of other actors who were considered for the Penguin role.
Not Marlon Brando.
Tim Burton's choice was Marlon Brando.
My God.
Come to me on the day.
That dude is literally at this point 3 times the size of Danny DeVito.
Yeah, so
Danny DeVito
Tim
had
Burton,
a little bod going on in this. Was that prosthetic?
I mean,
you think?
he had padding.
that was all natural.
Okay.
No, there's no way because he's a smaller guy. He's never gotten really really fat.
Yeah,
but that's a lot of padding for Danny DeVito,
no,
and I don't think he's not even that fucking tall either.
It was just like some sort of suit, but
he got a fat suit.
So Tim Burton's main choice for Penguin was Marlon Brando. Warner Brothers shot that down, and they wanted it to be Dustin Hoffman.
What the fuck?
A couple of other actors that were considered were also Christopher Lloyd and Robert De Niro. They ended up going with.
Hey, what do those 3 guys have in common?
They're all Italian.
Well, no, all their noses are big.
Mambo
Yeah, they're Italian.
Italiano. Hey, mambo. So ultimately, they went with Danny DeVito because the characterization of the Penguin was changed, and Danny DeVito ended up fitting that characterization better. But if it wasn't for that, then Dustin Hoffman was likely going to be the Penguin in this movie.
I think the Penguin and I think Christopher Walken is a really good part of this movie too. But Danny DeVito.
Walken is actually a really good bad guy.
Yeah. He's a good actor, even though he's quirky, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of his character Max Shrek, do either of you know off the top of your head what Max Shrek is a reference to?
Some kind of director or some shit, or I don't know.
Max Shrek is the name of the actor who originally played
Nosferatu.
Count Orlok in Nosferatu.
Okay.
So
damn, that's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, that's a reference to that. The only other casting stuff I have is about Catwoman, obviously being like the other prominent character. I didn't really dig into the Max Shrek character because Max Shrek is an original character for this film, so it's not like some long-standing thing from Batman comics. But Catwoman, Annette Bening was originally cast, but she had to drop out. I know I read why, but I didn't write it down. I can't remember off the top of my head. Other actresses that actually basically went out and tried to get this role. It wasn't like people that the studio sought out, but these 4 actresses actually went out and tried to get the role. Cher, Bridget Fonda. Yeah, sorry. Madonna and Susan Sarandon all tried to get the Catwoman role, but Michelle Pfeiffer won out, obviously.
Michelle, I think she was cast in the first movie as Vicky Vale, and Michael Keaton shot that shit down because he had an affair with her and he was trying to work out his marriage, if I'm not mistaken, or that was this movie. Like, he legit tried to, either the first movie she was cast in and he got that cut, or in this movie he tried to get her axed from the movie too, because he was trying to work out his marriage and they had an affair. So, before this, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess with all that being said, we can before we get in our thoughts, one more thing about the production is something I mentioned briefly on the last episode. We started talking about the some of the issues with production with this film and ultimately the final product and everything. One of the big issues that came about from this film was the deal that Warner Brothers had with McDonald's for McDonald's toys. I don't know if the McDonald's toys were actually made or if McDonald's scrapped it because they didn't like the overall design and aesthetic that Tim Burton had for this film. But apparently the story goes that McDonald's executives were not happy with Batman Returns because it conflicted with their freaking toy plans.
It's because
Too sexualized.
Michelle Pfeiffer was too sexy.
Well, that and like it's just a dark aesthetic, and it's just like I mean, the movie is. It just uses a lot of like grays and blacks and whites and stuff. It doesn't use a lot of color at all.
I guess that's kind of the era when, like the 90s were maybe the era where stuff was kind of getting more normalized with kids' toys. Because, you know, in the 80s they have like the Aliens action figures and the RoboCop action figures and shit. Like,
yeah, well, especially for McDonald's, you know, like it's not, you got a Happy Meal and you pull out a penguin toy with like black ooze dripping from his mouth, you know.
Pull out Michelle Pfeiffer's fat
It's
ass.
like, yeah, I was gonna say like leather. You're probably touching the little boobies on it too. So, you know, it's like I get it, like from a perspective of, and you know, I grew up in this era. Obviously, Cody was born in this era, and Owen wasn't even a twinkle on his dad's penis.
I was
so. You weren't even sperm yet. You probably weren't developed quite yet. But I understand like not wanting your kids to have like this kind of violence. I know we kind of overreact because we're just overgrown kids that are. How do I put this? Like we always wanted access to the stuff that grown-ups were watching, and that's how it's always going to be. But I understand why grown-ups were upset. I'm not even going to sit there and be like, "Oh, old man yelling at the cloud here." I understand not wanting your kids to see. Like this kind of thing. This movie is like there's a lot of killing, and the people that sit there and shit on, what's his name, Zack Snyder, because Batman doesn't kill. I don't know. He fucking killed a lot in these first two movies.
Yeah, he killed people in this one straight up. He literally lights a man on fire with the tailpipe
on purpose.
Don't people have that against these movies though? That like Batman kills?
No,
I thought people
I don't ever
bitched
see it when people are. When people are bitching about the Snyder version of Batman, I don't see those same people saying the same crap about Batman Returns. And
did they even watch this one though?
Who knows?
No, this is the one that those people fucking love. They're like, Christopher Nolan ruined Batman.
Yeah. I don't like Michael Keaton as Batman. I don't know if we talked about it in the last one or if that's a hot take.
We did talk about it briefly, and yeah, because I kind of agree.
Like he's a dork.
He's definitely my least. Yeah, he's my least favorite. He's definitely my least favorite Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Is it because of the receding hairline?
Not even that. Like fucking, he's just like such a goober all the time. Like he's like, Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm so horny for you.
This is going to be very. Well, I mean, he did have an affair on his wife.
Yeah, he's like the fucking character's taking cues from the actor.
And like my fucking Tim Burton's like, that's great job acting, Michael. And he's like, what acting?
He's like, what do you mean? Yeah, I
will say during one of those scenes, there is a great line, and I don't know if either of you caught it, but where he first meets Selena Kyle, and he's like, haven't we met before? And she's like, I don't think so. And he says, I was mistaking me for someone else. And
she goes, don't you mean me? And he's like, no, did I say that? He plays it off like he's just a dumbass.
Yeah, and it's such a clever line because it's just like, yeah, if you're not really thinking about it, it's just like, oh yeah, he's flustered, but it's like no, he was thinking of when he met her as Batman.
As Batman.
So it's just like it's such a, I don't know, I like that line a lot.
Yeah.
As much as I don't really like Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
The thing that sticks out to me about Michael Keaton as Batman is his eyes are very deep blue. Like they stand out more so than like any other Batman actors behind the mask to me because they're so blue. And his lips are like really puffy. I don't know what the fuck it is. It feels very Aerosmith.
Yeah, he like has like dick sucking lips.
You're like
Batman.
You're watching the screen. Yeah. You're like, I'm not gay, but
It's so funny. Like you could draw a character as Batman by like giving him a big fat like fucking head that doesn't move, and then giving him huge DSL dick sucking lips.
And I think it's funny.
Go ahead, Lance.
No, I was gonna say his mask in this movie. Cody brought it up. I'm like, I think it's funny as hell that he shows it the one time he removes the mask, he rips it off. It's all just one piece of rubber. And I'm like, that's why he has all those fucking suits. But he's like, I gotta throw away the mask every fucking time.
Did you notice in that scene, like, because he's got like black eyeshadow or whatever around his eyes
And
the
then it's
entire time.
gone.
But right before he rips the mask off, and the eyeshadow and stuff is gone.
Yeah, I wonder
It's
if that was just a production error.
It's so prominent. It's like I just think that they thought that him ripping the mask off and having like black paint around his eyes or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, they probably
looked
thought it
weird.
looked dumb, which is funny
But it
because now
looked dumb. It looked dumb when it cut away to Selena Kyle, and then it cuts back to him, and all of a sudden you just see like
he's got a
his skin tone like.
yeah.
Oh, you got
fucking
you do have to think though, Cody. This is the '90s, so Michael Keaton pulls off. He's got black ash all around his face. Or I was like, hey.
They're like, what the hell, dude? This guy's wearing shorts above the knees. What the hell? He's gay.
But I will. So since we're already talking about, we're already transitioning to just talking about Batman as a character in this and all that. But one thing I gotta ask, and I asked it during the last episode, what does everyone think of the suit in this movie?
It's a lot better than the last one. Like
It's
a lot
very
better.
rubbery.
But yeah, it looks like a condom. I like the cape. The cape actually looks kind of dope.
To be honest with you, I wasn't paying much attention to the costume in this. In the last one, I don't remember the difference either.
The
I don't know if
costume,
it's
His
not
head
just
was
wasn't-
huge.
Yeah.
His head was enormous in the first one.
the costume in the last one took me out of the movie so hard. Like I could not focus, and I could not think that Batman looked cool in the last one.
Because we
I guess
talked
I just
about
wasn't
how his
paying
head is
attention.
just so big, like
Yeah.
because he can't like turn his head whatsoever.
And
he has to like turn his entire body in that first one.
They definitely cut down on shots like that in this one because there's a lot, like it's a lot less noticeable. That I'm willing to bet he still can't move his fucking head. But
Dude,
No,
he
but I
can't
wonder-
run
I
in this
wonder-
fucking suit.
Yeah, I wonder in the action scenes though, where you do kind of see him turn his head during like fight scenes.
Yeah.
and it's like he's kind of cast in shadow. I wonder if they're using a different cowl during that, where it's like
Hey,
separated.
I'll be
So
right back, guys. Y'all keep going.
yeah, that
Okay.
I mean,
where it's like
yeah.
separated so he could turn his head and stuff.
Yeah, that would make sense. They did it so much better in this one because, like I said,
Oh, yeah.
it fucking like he totally does not look cool in the last one. Like he looks so dumb
No.
and stupid. And this one,
Yeah.
like I said, I like the cape. I like how it's like it's kind of like a bat. It's like a bat wing kind of rubbery like leather kind of look to it.
Yeah, and they also fixed the emblem on this one. Well, the emblem in itself on his chest is larger, but the actual like bat on it is fixed.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about the error in the last episode, but there's like an extra. You know how when you draw the bat silhouette, there's like a point
Yeah,
in the middle of the wing.
yeah.
And in the first one, there's like 2 points in the middle of the wing.
Yeah, I think
And it looks weird.
I subconsciously noticed that, but we didn't talk about it.
Yeah. So I mean, it definitely looks bizarre.
Yeah. What about I guess you could wait until Lance for the Catwoman outfit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, once Lance gets back, we'll talk about that. But the Batmobile, there's not really much to say. The Batmobile is pretty much the same as the first movie.
yeah.
Although that CG they use when the armor comes up on it looks freaking awful.
Yeah,
it did not age well.
Hey, when when it's getting remote controlled by the Penguin and he like is going towards that little gap in the wall and he has to like turn into like a bat cycle or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can see like the seam in the road where like the fucking little bat cycle follows, like it's on a track almost.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
I think you can see it if you go back in that scene and look. You can.
I guess we can talk about Max Schreck while we're waiting.
Yeah.
You already mentioned, Christopher Walken is very good in this film. He's really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Max Schreck, just as a general rundown of what his grand plan is in this film, is he's like a businessman, right?
Yeah.
He owns some giant corporation or whatever, but his plan, he wants to build a power plant in Gotham that's basically going to drain power from it so he can hoard it all and then I guess sell it at a high price back to the people of the city.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what he
in
wanted
order-
to do. Like, does it ever actually say that like outright in the movie?
He says something at one point about He says something at one point about wanting to build the power plant. It's when
Yeah.
Selena Kyle like
Yeah,
finds the file.
She's like, you're making a capacitor that actually storing the power, but I don't think he ever.
She says draining the city of power.
Yeah, and then storing it or
it.
whatever. But it never.
But you would have to assume that his plan is to sell it back to them because I mean, why else would he do it?
Yeah, I guess that was my thing when I was watching. I was like, I don't get his motivation for like doing that. Like, what does he get out of that? But I mean,
money. I mean, that has.
Yeah, that's pretty much his whole.
Making that leap.
Yeah, his whole character, I guess, is literally just evil guy who's not a super villain.
Yeah, he's just evil corporate
He's a
man.
dumbass.
Yeah, he kind of is.
I'll have to go back here in a couple minutes. I think my washer is acting up because there's something wrong with the drain relay switch or some shit. So it's not. The drain will keep turning on even though the cycle's complete. It's real fucking weird. So yeah, Max is an idiot because he's like, Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up like Batman? and then he's just like, I mean, he's an opportunist. He's not really consistent because the beginning of the movie, when they wanted him, and his son goes, "Dad, go save yourself," he runs off. But then he saves his son the second time around.
Yeah, it's very weird. I look that same scene you're talking about where he's like, Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed like Batman? When he's like, Selena Kyle, you're fired. And he's just like,
you already fired her.
Yeah, well, I think she was probably fired when he threw her out the fucking window.
She's still coming in, clocking in and out after that.
She did come back to work, yeah.
He's like, Selena, you forgot to clock out. You're like fucking 20 hours overtime.
She's like the guy with glasses in Office Space. He goes, "I just want my stapler back." They're like, yeah, we'll go ahead and let you go." He's like, he's been fired. He just keeps showing up to work. They can't get him to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of his general thing. There's not really a whole lot to say about him. Oh, I guess he does. In order to enact his plan, he needs some way into the mayoral office, right? Because there's discussion about how the mayor of Gotham is never going to allow him to build this power plant, and him being essentially kidnapped by Penguin gives him an opportunity to try and seize the mayoral office through Penguin. Which I guess.
Well, remember, Batman says that I just had a meeting with the mayor and he sees eye to eye with me, and he goes, "Well, mayors come and go."
Yeah.
So
he says, "Things come and go." Whoa.
So I guess we can talk about. That being said, we can talk about the Penguin. This is probably the most unique Penguin design I've ever seen. Obviously, he's not really he's not a mob boss at all. He is still kind of a crime boss because he's the leader of the Red Triangle Gang, which are just, I guess, former circus members from when he was in the circus that kind of followed him. And,
that the Puerto Rican guy in The Dark Knight, he's like, "They're not going to follow a freak like you." And it's like, that's what you think is like,
they're not going to follow a freak.
And
he goes like, "We'll just see how hungry, how loyal hungry pooches are." Yeah. This is it's unique, but also
eventually.
Yeah, it's unique, but it's really one of just three performances as Penguin. It's very fitting of Tim Burton.
We've had multiple live action Penguins, right? We've had the one from Adam West, the Burgess Meredith version. We've had Danny DeVito version. We've had the Colin Farrell version, which I think is the best performance was. There's also a couple from different TV shows. At least the Gotham TV show, Penguin was like a main character in that show.
But nobody fucking watches that.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, it went like 8 seasons, I think.
Oh my God, yeah. Anyway, that's a story. That's a tale for another time. But yeah, I mean, just design wise though, yeah, it is very, very Tim Burton-esque. He's just dirty and grimy. I guess that comes from him living in the sewer.
He's got food. Oh, okay. I'll say this real quick too, because I was thinking about this earlier. It looks like he has food coloring in his teeth all the time, and he's in the sewer. But that water in that sewer is more clear than the Cumberland River here. I'll tell you that right fucking now. Like that ain't no sewer. That's a fucking aquarium. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was funny
Yeah,
that the little ooze that he has, for the the nuclear waste, I guess, the pollution, and he
yeah.
pours it out. It's all green and shit. It looks just like the ooze from the Ninja Turtles 2 movie, Secret of the Ooze.
They probably just went over to that set and borrowed some.
Hey, give me that, guy. Okay, here you
What's that? I hope that wasn't an ancestor.
go. I swear that will always be like my favorite moment of this podcast is when Owen is talking about that scene in depth, and then he gets so pissed off he goes, "They're not even the same family." And it's like, hey man, calm down, brother,
bullshit.
calm down. I just thought it was funny.
Fuck that fucking movie.
He's so fucking pissed about it. It's like, dude, hold on. We're just relax. It's okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja.
You know,
Hey, why don't the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ever get horny? You know, they're teenagers.
they probably do. They want April.
Yeah,
They just don't
They
have a
have the hots
penis.
for April.
they think about it, but they don't do anything. They're like, no.
They're like,
man.
hey, April, why don't you scratch my shell, bitch?
They said that's wrong, Donnie. That's bestiality.
So, Penguin's main goal in this film, God, he threw me off.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, and that threw me off because it's not right, Donnie. It's bestiality.
That's wrong, Donnie.
I'm gonna go check these clothes real quick. Y'all keep talking. When I come back, I'll get on Catwoman.
Okay.
All right, so Penguin's initial plan in this film is he wants to basically ascend from the sewers, right? He wants to be beloved by this city that he feels like abandoned him. But we built this city on. But there's like another plan, and I don't really know what the intention was. You know, there's a scene where he's in the records office or whatever it's called, and he's writing all these names down. And he already knows who his parents are, and he's obviously putting on a show for people.
Yeah.
Which I guess he learned his showmanship from his days in the circus as the bird boy. And so he knows who his parents are. He knows they're already dead. He doesn't really give a shit about that, but he wrote all these names down. And later on, when Catwoman is in his place, and she looks at the list of names, he's like, that list of names is not for prying eyes or whatever. But I do remember what it was. It's the list of people who have firstborn sons or whatever.
Oh, okay. So he was cooking that plan up even before they told him to go fuck
because
himself.
he was going to get revenge on the city. I guess he wanted to make people love him, so he basically could like go, you know what I mean, like in plain view of everybody without raising suspicion that this weird, freaky bird man is walking around the city of Gotham. And enact this plan. But it is temporarily delayed because Max Schreck kind of like thrust him into this mayoral campaign.
Yeah.
Which Penguin actually gets really into. He starts saying, you know, my name's not Penguin, it's Oswald Cobblepot and all this. And he wants to be the mayor of the city basically because he can take over this or run the city that way.
Yeah.
All that is foiled though when Bruce Wayne, who remains suspicious of Penguin, ends up playing an audio tape, I guess during one of his like campaign speeches or whatever. But it's an audio tape of the Penguin talking about one of his plans, and it makes everyone turn against him. And then he comes back with the whole, I'm taking all the firstborn sons of Gotham, and at one point he goes to take Max Schreck's son, who is a grown man, just trying his best to do a Christopher Walken impersonation.
Yeah.
And Max says, you know, take me instead, blah, blah, blah. They go down to the sewer and is ultimately defeated by Batman. And he ends up dying. And the penguins come and, like, carry him or push him into the water or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The fucking pallbearers. That was pretty funny.
I will say one of my favorite things of this movie, and I still consider it every now and then. But at one point, I wanted to get a tattoo of it. Was one of the penguins with a rocket strapped on its back.
Yeah, that is so goofy. It's almost like an Adam West era, thing. That's the one thing I did like about this movie is that it's not. This one especially isn't afraid to get too goofy, while also
taking itself seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
About it too.
That's what I really like because that's kind of how the comics are themselves too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like Condiment Man is taking himself seriously, even though it's a ridiculous villain.
Yeah.
Or Condiment King. Sorry, not Condiment Man.
Condom Man.
I snuck into your Batcave, Bruce Wayne, on a Trojan horse.
The most devious villain of all time.
He's like, and he goes, wussy. Anyway,
he rises from the ashes one day after being defeated, and everyone thinks he's dead, and he comes back as broken condom man.
Broken. I'm dedicated to putting pinholes in all condoms. There will be no safe sex.
Oh God, I'll tell you this, man. The best for me, like peak cartoon, is Batman animated series, like the first fucking 60 episodes, right before they transition into that stupid ass redesign. They have a character called the Clock King, and it's literally a lawyer who has a court case at a certain time, and he's very punctual about everything. Coffee break 3:15, everything on the dot. And the mayor tells him at the time, he's not the mayor yet, he's a district attorney. He tells him, like, why don't you just relax and take your break at 3:30? He goes, but he goes, just relax, quit going by your schedule. So he relaxes, and in that time, all of his paperwork flies off, gets destroyed when it goes into like the public pond in a park, Yeah. And he shows up for his court case, all disheveled, and he's late. And the court rules against him and puts him in bankruptcy. And the last thing the judge says is like, "This will teach you to be more punctual." And he's like, "No." And he shows back up like 7 years later, and he's about to kill the mayor, who's the district attorney, who's now the mayor. And it's a really good fucking episode, but it's like that kind of silly, like villain stuff that show took inspiration from these movies doing.
Yeah, there are a lot of Batman villains that are just ridiculous. I mean, obviously, I think what the mainstream sees are the more serious ones and the ones that are, really great villains. But there are a lot of like D-list villains that Batman has had that are just absurd, And
even some of the mainliners, they've had some goofy. There's been some goofy arcs here and there, Oh
yeah, there's definitely been some like weird interpretations of the big ones, but yeah. So, what do we think about Danny DeVito's performance here as Penguin?
I thought it was really good. I liked it when he ate the raw food.
I think he does really good with what he's given. Like when we went into these movies, like any Tim Burton movie that we've talked about, I've always said I'm not a Tim Burton guy. Like any stretch of imagination, I don't seek out his movies. I don't sit there and go like, "Man, I love this shit." I really don't. It's just like, it's okay, whatever. It's like he tries to make a really gothic cartoon in live action, and it's so over the top. But then he'll put in other shit to try to be realistic, and that mix doesn't go well with me. Like he'll have, one animal got killed in this movie, which is a cat.
No,
and
for real.
At the very beginning of the movie, the penguin pulls in the cat and he's locked in the cage.
Oh, I thought you meant like
I thought you meant like
really got killed.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a PETA violation or some shit.
No, I'm talking about like on screen. So like I've talked about this before for myself that violence on animals getting killed in the movie is the cheapest way to elicit a reaction from a crowd. It's like a wrestler going out there and saying, "Oh, hey, how's it going in Nashville?"
I definitely agree with what you're saying. It's just with this, it's just so like cartoonish that it's
I know, but see the
thing
is like if it's so cartoonish, you don't have to kill an animal. So that you don't see it, you can see the cat go, and then Danny DeVito, obviously he's threatening violence against a cat, and Catwoman puts the bird in her fucking mouth, leaning really heavy into a penguin, and like. A penguin wouldn't kill a fucking cat, but like a cat eating a bird and some stupid shit like that. Why does the penguin have a fucking canary in the first place? That makes no fucking sense. Because it's a bird.
Michelle Pfeiffer puts the bird in her mouth and she's like rubbing
it's just it's just for that one bit.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And so for me, like everything that Tim Burton does, for the most part, it feels like it goes the opposite of what I want in that moment. And he, like, seeing Tim Burton, the shit he does, he's the type of dude that everybody's like, oh yeah, he's really unique and he's gothic, but he's also the dude that marries a fucking Playboy Mansion bunny and shit like that. So he doesn't feel very legitimate to me when it comes to like the way he does things. So I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't like Beetlejuice. I don't like these two Batman movies.
You don't like any of that?
No, none of it.
That's crazy.
I watch it like, oh, okay. Everybody's like, this shit's so great. And I'm like,
I don't think it's the best thing ever, but I think they're fun movies, you know?
No, I mean, they're a one-watch movie for me. I'll never go back to them.
I like Beetlejuice.
So for me, like Danny DeVito, what he's given, because I've watched the other things Danny DeVito's in, other movies he's in, and he's a fucking funny-ass actor, and he's a good actor. So he does the best of what he can with this shit. But for me, it's also just kind of like, there's no nuance to these characters. All these characters, even Batman, are just
they're campy. They're basically just a gothic version of campy characters, right? Like,
yeah.
But I do think that Danny DeVito does really well in this movie.
Yeah. No, I think he does great what he gives. I don't like his material.
That's the one thing where you have to think about it. I think in comparison to superhero movies that have come out recently, where it's like, oh, here's a nuanced take on Batman. You know, he has like his little personal dramas and shit. But I guess at the time, you have to understand that these movies were made like when comic book movies weren't anywhere near, you know, true or authentic to the character. And I'm not saying that these completely are, because they're not. But, you know, it seems like these ones at least try to like take it a little bit more seriously, you know?
No, I get that. What I'm saying is, like, I like Jack Nicholson better as the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I do Danny DeVito. I like him better than I like Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Yeah,
I was just about to say the opposite. I like Danny DeVito as the Penguin better than I like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. But we talked about that when we talked about the '89 Batman.
Yeah.
About how much I just do not like Jack Nicholson as a Joker.
I hate Jack Nicholson. Fuck you, Jack Nicholson.
What? I don't hate Jack Nicholson, but it's just like he's just Jack Nicholson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but he's just so fun to watch. You know.
But
I
DeVito,
agree. I think
Jack Nicholson's a very like he plays Jack Nicholson in almost everything he does.
Yeah.
He's not nuanced, but he's just a fucking huge name.
Like even
Danny DeVito can be nuanced.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And in this movie, he's not nuanced. Like his character is very like one note. Like at least with Jack Nicholson, there was a duality where you had a few ripples, and it's not well portrayed. Again, like I said, it's Tim Burton, so it's like fucking slasher movie levels of like deepness.
Yeah.
But this, like Jack Nicholson, like when he becomes Joker, he's putting on a human face to look kind of normal. And with Danny DeVito, he's just kind of stuck in this prosthetic. Like seeing Danny DeVito, like, I mean, it's his height. He's a character in his first place. He doesn't have to have all the prosthetics to this shit. And seeing him, if he actually was portrayed as the Penguin, as the mob boss, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. But like again,
yeah, I guess
Tim Burton went deep in all the wrong directions. He wanted like sexuality and blood and shit like that. He didn't want mafia shit like he had in the first movie.
He wants sex.
What were you gonna say, Owen?
I guess the difference would be like in terms of character depth versus like actual like acting chops, or like, you know, the ability to do character acting. I feel like Jack Nicholson's the Joker in the first one is definitely a more deeper, a more interesting character, you know, just because he has even just a bigger presence in the plot, you know, with him killing Bruce Wayne's parents and shit like that, and him having that dramatic transformation. Even that scene where he's like, hand me the fucking, you know, mirror or whatever. You know, that's like a really good scene. But at the end of the day, you know, Cody, you're right. A lot of times Jack Nicholson's just playing Jack Nicholson. But I feel like he can elevate, you know, dramatic plot even just by playing himself.
Sure, yeah.
But I do think that Danny DeVito, as Lance was saying, I think Danny DeVito does a really good job kind of playing. he's a good character actor. Danny DeVito's a good character actor, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Yeah, and I just think the way his character is written in this movie.
Yeah, but
is
his character has
not
no.
great.
He doesn't really
You
have.
don't like how horny he is?
Yeah, that's all he's
You
got.
what?
Really.
I don't like what.
You don't like how horny he is?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying like.
He's
a monster that he's a monster that stays in the swamp, and if you've seen not swamp but the sewer,
Swamp
the
Thing.
sewer. Come on now.
Swamp Thing, they are amazing. But like Penguin, like none of the other Batman characters, and when we get to fucking Mr. Freeze, the Ice Age, Arnold Schwarzenegger is limited in that role as well. Because he's constantly
every line he says
he's wearing
is
a
fucking
prosthetic.
pun.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, and that's also the writing and shit like that.
Yeah,
But it's also the
sure.
prosthetic he's stuck wearing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't want to spoil that stuff. Let's not talk too much about the future movies because I know Owen hasn't seen those either, and I don't want to like get too deep in all
color
that.
his opinion yet.
I've seen reviews on the Joel Schumacher ones, and I've seen how people react to them. So, got a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying,
we'll get there when you see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I just think this movie has one too many villains. Like, you were good with Max Schreck, and you were good with Selena Kyle. Like, the Penguin stuff. And this thing is kind of overstuffed because at the point of when you were talking about when I was looking at my wash machine, where he plays the recording, he has a Penguin talking shit about Gotham, and then he also has a recording of Penguin talking shit to Batman about Gotham in the car when he's controlling the car. And he's playing that for everybody. That's a very cartoon episode way to tie up that loose end. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
There's 20 minutes left in the movie, and they wrap that up real quick. And at that point, you still have to have the Penguin shoot off all the fucking bombs, and then Catwoman has to shoot up 5 more lives. Max has to die, and Penguin has to die in the next 25 minutes. And it's
we'll get to the 9 lives thing too, because that part actually bothers me. But
yeah, I don't understand that part.
So. Yeah,
that's Tim Burton. I mean, I don't know what else you guys.
We'll get to it when we get to Catwoman. Yeah. But as far as Penguin goes, like, I don't know. I like the arc. I like Penguin's arc in this whole thing. Yeah, he's kind of over the top, and he is very much a cartoonish sort of villain. But I like Danny DeVito's portrayal of him. You know, whether you like this version or the writing or whatever, Danny DeVito does a really good job as Penguin in this.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was saying that was wrong.
No, yeah. I do like the arc. Like, I like the whole, like, Penguin's actually kind of fallen in love with being the idea of, I'm not Penguin, I'm Oswald Cobblepot now and all this. And then how quickly it just falls apart once he's exposed for who he is. But I think that personally, the most interesting villain in the movie, character-wise, is Catwoman. Mm-hmm. Now, it does the whole, like, typical 80s and 90s shtick of, this woman has her hair up and glasses on, so she's just
a big pushover dork. Bleh. She needs a good dicking.
You corn dog.
Yeah, it's just...
I need something
it's silly. Hole. That part of it's silly and so, like, outdated. But so many movies have done that crap. But her whole thing of being killed for finding out too much information and coming back to get her revenge, and like she's really like struggling with this whole idea of like she wants revenge, but she doesn't really want to be this type of person, and like how is she going to balance it? It's a good parallel. It's a good parallel to Batman, right? Because Batman's the opposite. Batman does embrace his other side and, all this, but, there's the good and arguably evil versions of it. I just find that character to be really well done in this movie.
I don't get why she's evil,
Cody,
though. Like,
well, I mean, she was killed. She wants to get revenge.
Yeah. I know, but like she doesn't. I get that, but like, why the fuck does she want to kill Batman and stuff? Like,
maybe she didn't want to. you have her pussy licked by the 1,000 cats on her.
Yeah, she was like,
I
Batman never fucked me in my big pussy, so fuck him.
I think she wants to kill Batman just simply because he's trying to stop her. I don't think there's really anything else to it.
But she doesn't want to. So
know.
the way somebody described it, I don't know if it was on Wikipedia when I was reading it through a review. That the reason why she says she refuses Batman's offer at the end of the movie because that would just be one more man controlling her in her life, and she's trying to. It's kind of like a feminist thing. She's trying to like stand out on her own. And real quick before we so we get back into that, but when Cody was talking about like her character arc, it's interesting because the first movie you had the one main villain in Joker, and he goes from normal to prosthetic makeup and all this other shit. So in this movie you have an kind of in the middle, morally gray character in Catwoman, and Batman's the hero. But then you have the other two villains who stay completely the same throughout the movie. Like I know Cody said he liked the Penguin's arc. To me, there is no arc in that movie. Like he stays the fucking same throughout the whole thing. He doesn't change his look. Max Schreck does not change his look. Catwoman's the one that goes through a physical.
The arc isn't look. The arc is the story.
No, I'm talking about from the look. Well, the story for the characters he's putting on a show the whole time. He knew who his parents were, and
we talked about that. I know he's putting on an act, but like once he's kind of thrust into the whole, we want you to run for mayor. He sort of buys into it for a while. It's not until Bruce Wayne exposes him that he just immediately like falls back into. Yeah. Screw this! I'm going back to my original plan of kidnapping all the firstborn sons or whatever.
Yeah, for me, like that arc for me, it was like 3 scenes. Like it was too quick for me. Like Catwoman has an arc in this movie.
Oh yeah,
like she wants to kill Max.
She's the best done character in this film for sure.
Is it Max or Mac in this movie? It's Max, right?
It's
Max.
Shrek.
Yeah. Shrek.
So MAXX.
Somebody
MAX
wants to
MAX. Okay, I thought it was MAXX. So she wants to kill him. The only time that she starts questioning her motives is when she starts making out with Bruce Wayne, and then she goes right back to being Catwoman. And then when they find out in the ballroom at Max's, I was about to say Halloween party, but I guess Christmas party or Christmas dance or whatever. That's when they find out that they are each other, Catwoman and Batman. And it's like, oh no, so she's conflicted at that point, but then she finally goes back on her role. So like throughout since she turns into Catwoman when she has the 100 cats pissing on her to resurrect her, it's like a really bad like jellyfish thing. You just gotta pee on somebody. They're all just like, hey, we saw this pee on her. And she does a really good job rolling her eyes in the back of her head like Undertaker in that scene. She's like, But when she becomes Catwoman, like, she's 100%, like, in my fucking way. Like, she hates men because she got dumped by the one guy through the voicemail. Max thinks she's, like, too smart for her own britches and finds out her information. And she is killed for being, like, an independent thinker, almost. Because she was going through all of his private shit. So, she has a thing where she hates, like, all men type of deal. But Bruce is the only one that makes her feel a certain way because he treats her with respect, or like she likes the way it feels against her thigh.
Yeah, which is when she starts doubting. When she starts doubting herself,
he fucks her with that back cock.
There's not enough doubt for her to like swing. Like she's gonna kill Max no matter. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Catwoman in this movie is some sort of Oscar-worthy type written character. You know what I mean? But out of everything in the film, because I mean, Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne in this, right? Like, he takes a back seat, really, to the villains in the movie.
What about the Batman smile? When he sticks the bomb in the dude's crotch?
Yeah.
He's also a villain. He's the fourth villain.
When he burns that dude alive with the fucking back car thruster.
Yeah, like, and then weirdly he sticks his head out the window and looks back at him and, like, sticks his tongue out and just goes, he gives him the fucking, as he drives off.
He gives him the bird. He goes, see you later, sucker.
Dude, I swear that whole thing with him, like, in these movies I'm watching, and I'm just like, he fucking killed. Like, everybody hates Ben Affleck's Batman because he kills people. What the fuck are they talking about with Michael Keaton? But, like, I think it's funny. In my head, I'm sitting there thinking, like, that's where the transmission should be on this car. And you just see this big fucking metal stilt hit the ground, car rotates, and the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat character that blows the fire off the stick because he has kerosene in his mouth. Gets set on fire. He's like, oh, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! Like when you guys were talking about it, I just thought it was fucking hilarious too. I'm like, my God, he's like Jason in fucking New York.
So back to Catwoman. What do you guys think of Catwoman's outfit in this?
Sexy. Oh, make me horny.
I think she does a really good job. Like I think she needed a little more material to make the suit because all it was just a leather jacket that she turned into a full body suit. And I'm like, you need one more piece. And I like the fact it shows that she's putting it together.
There's an obvious, there's like an obvious corset like on her base layer, but yeah, she's just somehow made it as a jacket. My issue with it is her mask. That shit
stuff all over it.
You can fucking see her face plain as day. Like it's the worst disguise ever.
Oh yeah, well it's also nighttime when she's wearing it.
Yeah,
so.
I guess so. It is a superhero.
But to be honest with you,
movie,
like not a lot of people know who she is too. Because remember, she says like
she had glasses
no one ever
on.
pays attention to her type deal.
Yeah, I mean she is.
It's the
she's also kind of a nobody, right?
Yeah.
When she was alive.
Yeah. But nobody knows who the fuck she is.
Yeah.
Like even fucking Max didn't even know who she was, and she had hair poking out.
Dude,
at the end where like half her mask is mask, and he goes like, "What?" And then if she takes off the mask, he goes, Selena Kyle. Like, are you
Gomez?
this dense?
Is that Selena
Gomez?
You're fired.
A little thick Latina.
I have blonde hair, you idiot.
I'm talking about Selena Gomez. I'm like, hey.
The scene where she comes home after being thrown out the window and like starts like putting the stuffed animals in the garbage disposal and spray painting the walls and tearing up her apartment and stuff. Like that's for whatever reason that strikes like such a strong sense of nostalgia for me.
You did,
because I watched this movie a lot when I was a little kid.
You did that,
but
once.
that scene right there. Oh no, that scene right there is just. I guess when I was a kid, it was like one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I don't know why.
Your parents said, "Cody, stop shoving your fucking GI Joes down the garbage disposal."
I was thinking Cody was thinking about the spray paint going New World Order. This is the thing kept bumping in my head. Now I don't know if you guys noticed this. I thought it was a good touch. She has in I don't know what you call it, like street sign lighting in her room says hello
the
there.
Neon lights. Yeah,
the neon lights.
Out the O and the T.
And it says hell here. I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. You only see it one time in one shot, and it's kind of obscured. But I'm like, that's pretty fucking dope.
That says a lot.
Yeah, that shot when like it's showing her like after she makes the suit, and it's from like outside the apartment through the window or whatever.
And all the cats that were pissing on her outside, just like, you want to go for round two?
Yeah, I dig the suit. I think the suit looks really cool. I like the stitching and all that all over it.
Yeah.
It feels very Frankensteinish too, don't it?
Yeah, a little bit. And
like
compared to the other like movie Catwomen that there's been, it's definitely. I mean, hands down, is the best. I mean, Anne Hathaway's and gosh, what's her name?
Zoe Kravitz.
Kravitz.
Yes, her like theirs are just very simplistic.
Did she even have? I don't even remember. I guess she
did. She had like a ski mask or whatever that kind of had like these little ears.
Yeah.
Or like these little points on her head that were supposed to resemble cat ears.
But she doesn't wear it all the time either.
She had an e-girl streamer headset with little cat ears on it.
And Anne Hathaway's character, she had. It looks like cat ears, but it literally pulls down and it's like fucking binoculars that help her like crack safes or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Or look into shit, which is pretty cool. I hope Cody picks Catwoman for us to watch because I'd like to see that suit.
That movie is fucking.
I'm doing all the Batman movies.
Even as a kid, I watched that movie and I was like, this movie sucks.
Have you ever seen that movie, Lance?
I have not.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to see the basketball scene.
I wasn't old enough to be sexually aroused, but I was old enough to be like, this is fucking terrible.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
So for me, people said the first Venom movie when they were trashing it was as bad as Catwoman. It's the worst comic movie
No,
as Catwoman.
there ain't.
And then
Those people are
it made
idiots.
$850 million, and everybody just had to shut the fuck up at that point.
Sit down, be humble.
But
we'll get to Catwoman because my plan is for us to get through this quadrilogy, and then we're actually going to step back and do the Adam West movie, and then we'll do Catwoman.
Wait, there's an Adam West Bat movie? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
Batman.
It was
the
like
movie.
10 years ago. We watched it together, didn't we, Cody, on Netflix or some shit?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember seeing it at your place.
Yeah, it's very campy, obviously, like the show was,
Yeah.
but
And they
yeah,
had
so
they had to change a few actors in that movie from the show. Something about, I think Catwoman's actor, like there was a scheduling conflict or she wanted more money or some shit, so they just replaced her with another actress.
yeah, we'll definitely get into it once we get there. But let's talk about the 9 lives thing because, like I said, that actually is one of the things that really bothers me in this movie. So we know for sure she dies when she's thrown out the window.
Yeah.
And, she keeps making references to how many lives she has left. And so she's like, okay, well, that's 1 life down, right? She says that Batman kills her.
I don't know when.
But Batman drops her off the building or whatever, and she falls into the back of the truck that's, like, filled with, like, the sand. And but I've always been confused as to if that would actually kill her or not.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she has a soft landing.
I'm trying to remember. I know he throws acid on her, and that's when she falls in that. Who drops her into the fucking greenhouse and she breaks the glass?
That's Penguin because he puts the umbrella around her neck or whatever, and it flies her up and drops her.
And then she screams for no reason.
Yeah, I like that shot where she screams and like the rest of the glass like blows out of the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, she screams. Dope. I think maybe the scream is just like a scream of frustration, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good shot. It's just, it still is kind of a goofy thing that would like if you take it out of
Lance was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Lance was saying, her whole character really in this, a lot of it has to do with just being disrespected by men, right? Yeah. And that's just another case of that, where her and Penguin were supposed to be teaming up or whatever, and Penguin gets all pissy because she doesn't want to fuck him.
Yeah, give him the goods, dude. He needs that Penguin cock.
Who would? Yeah, you see that gross little bastard?
Who would not, dude? He's powerful.
I think it's real funny when Penguin bites that one dude's nose. The image counselor thing or whatever those two people are, and he talks about the chick. He's like, I like to fill her hole or her void or something like that.
Her void,
chick,
yeah.
Her void. That chick had a fat ass in that fucking suit.
We literally are the Penguin.
You two are.
Yeah. Me and Lance are literally. I identify with the Penguin, you know?
I do 100% with that. I like that character art.
No, I understand that. That made a lot of sense to me when he did that.
But the thing that was so funny is Cody can't do this because Stephanie's home and she's gonna hear anything. Cody said titty, what? And, but no, they her whole thing with like guys, like again, I think it's kind of funny. The whole like the thing where Max is like threatening to kill her, and he goes, you know, like she goes, oh, you had me there, he goes, and then he fucking just shoves her like, God damn. It's so funny, like. These buildings in Gotham, New York, are so fucking big. Like they're just like, it's like the scene from.
I think it's funny. It's funny whenever she comes back, right? And he's like, "Oh my God, Selena, you hurt yourself on that ski trip." He immediately is like, "It's like, are you not at all concerned by the fact you threw her out of like a 40-story tall building and she's literally standing right in front of you, like?" Are you that dense?
Well,
he's just like immediately like, oh, I got to come up with a cover story for me throwing her out that window. And then like when they leave and his son is there, he's like, what are we gonna do, Dad? If she starts talking, he's like, well, I'll just have to throw her out of a higher window. It's like, what?
Why wouldn't you just fucking shoot her, kill her, stupid idiot?
What's crazy to me, like, to be honest with you, in that scene. I can't tell if Christopher Walken is staring at her in disbelief or he's just staring at her like he wants to fuck her now because she's hot.
I think he's staring at her. Yeah. I read it as he's in disbelief that she's alive.
Yeah, I don't get that.
While Bruce Wayne is drooling all over himself.
I don't get the feeling like that Max Shrek is a sex pest. He's a misogynist, yes, but not like a weird sex pest.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's the Christopher Walken just stare.
Yeah.
I think it's funny with his eyebrows in this movie. I'm like, oh yeah, that's very Max Shrek. Like as I think about it, as Cody said that,
He said,
like that dude has some wild fucking eyebrows.
talking to me in the
Go
wrong
back and look at his
tone.
picture.
Say it again.
I had this watch
So,
shoved up my ass for 7 years.
Back to the non-lives thing. So later on, right? She's like, "Oh, well, I've got this many lives. I've got 6 lives left." And then every time she gets shot, she's like, "That's 5, 4, 3." It's like, what?
Yeah,
Because she gets shot in the leg first, and then like in the shoulder. It's like, okay, you wouldn't just
That's
immediately
4 or 5.
die from the gunshot,
yeah. That's all.
And
right? Like
6.
She gets
the
7.
entirety of all the gunshots maybe would have killed her once overall.
Yeah. She gets a paper cut. She's like,
Yeah,
that's
I
one.
So
And then
she
ends up-
falls from the building. That's one.
Yeah.
I guess Batman drops her into the dump truck of kitty litter, but she says saved by kitty litter, so I don't necessarily think that would
she
be-
says saved by kitty litter, and then later on she says that Batman killed her.
You
once.
killed me.
So, is there another scene that we're forgetting? Because the Penguin drops her in the lighthouse, so that's 2. I can't remember anything else of Batman. Maybe I'm just fucking not remembering.
I don't think so. I think that's it. Like, that's the only time that there would have been anything that may have.
Maybe
killed
it's
her.
just a long enough fall where it's just like, but then the whole like
maybe.
saved by
When
kitty
he-
litter kind of throws it off.
But it's just it's just weird that she ends up saying saved by kitty litter. That's what's bizarre about it.
yeah,
When she got that
that's a
bat
very
dick.
like cartoon quip.
Well, she didn't get that bat dick like she wanted, so that killed her. You know what I'm saying?
That killed her sex drive.
Yeah, there you go.
And then she kisses Max with the taser, which is kind of a weird
Yeah.
setup that she gets the taser at the beginning of the movie and then it's just set up for that one scene. Like, why would she want to kiss Max in the first place?
I don't know.
Maybe just a
Well,
certain dominance over him.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Because she's
I
a
don't- I
femme
don't understand that
fatale.
one either.
She's a femme fatale, so she's got to be all sexy.
Femme fatale.
That was
I'm sexy, yeah, and I know it.
That seems like a really weird thing about this movie is that it seemed like just from the cursory glance of reception that I looked at, it seems like a lot of people were like, "Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is like a really liberated character." It's like she's a huge, like, powerful female icon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you feel like that for the time that is the case with this
Yeah,
character.
definitely.
Okay. I just feel like I don't know. I guess for a superhero movie, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because think of the other, I mean, there's other scenes too. I mean, it's definitely like her going from this meek, overlooked woman to someone who's basically taking control of her life.
Yeah.
And, like, there are plenty of scenes where she's a badass. Like, there's the scene where she's in, like, the department store or whatever, and, like, she does, like, the whips to, like, knock the heads off the mannequins, which is real, by the way.
Yeah.
That's, like,
she
a real
broke the camera
thing that she
or
does.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like,
When you explain it,
yeah, I mean, there's just little things.
when you explain it like that, and you really put it into perspective, when I guess you explained kind of her arc, it really is kind of like almost like a rom-com. Like, it's like fucking like fried green tomatoes style, like women empowerment.
It's the Notebook. It's the Notebook with masks.
yeah.
Rachel McAdams is I guess she is fucking Doctor Strange's girlfriend at one point. She's
Dr. Strange pussy.
Ryan Gosling.
Thank you.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry
Selena's
though,
got some
because in
strange pussy.
the next Batman movie, we go right back to just having some boring, plain love interest for Bruce Wayne that's just also horny for Batman.
That's awesome.
So
It's interesting that they didn't bring her back. I know they were talking about making a Catwoman movie with her.
God,
Like
that would be
down the way,
awesome.
like in 1995, right around the time Batman Forever, like not Schumacher, but Burton was still attached to it. But then that got
Yeah.
shelved, and then obviously that became the wonderful Catwoman movie of 2004.
Man, it sucks. What could have been.
I just think because the song sucks. You know?
So yeah, I don't really have much of anything else to say. I think we did a good we had a good discussion on like the 4 main characters of the movie. Alfred did not show anybody the Batcave this time.
He did his fucking job this time. Good job, Alfred.
But that's not to say that he won't show someone else the Batcave in the future. And yeah, we'll on the next Batman episode we do for Batman Forever, we'll kind of talk about what Tim Burton's third film could have been, and obviously the production details and stuff that led to Joel Schumacher taking over and everything. But do either of you have any final thoughts on this film?
Yes.
Yes. I'll let Lance go.
So, I'm going to be the party pooper. People hold these movies in such high reverence for, Batman. Because obviously a lot of people grew up with these Batman movies. And they're good movies. They aren't great. And for me, it's like, am I going to watch this? I'm just going to go watch Batman the Animated Series. I'm going to go watch Batman the Animated Series. Like, what Burton does on these movies is perfected in that cartoon show, and it fits better in that cartoon show. And the cartoon show is very mature for a kid show at the time. Like, it doesn't go into sex and everything like that, but it's very, like, dark and not, like, kid spoon-fed shit. So these movies are, like, good, but they do not compare to me to the Nolan trilogy. Like, by any stretch of imagination. The Nolan trilogy, I know people still say Christian Bale is a bad Batman, and I think that's fucking stupid. But all the other characters in those movies are well fucking written. Those movies are cohesive and they make sense and they fit. And this is okay. This movie, I'll recommend it for at least a one watch. If you like Batman, you're gonna love it. But when people talk about this shit, it's just high reverence. I'm like, what the fuck am I missing? Like, they're good movies, but they're not fucking great. And again, that's the whole, I don't worship at the altar of Tim Burton. So maybe it's blasphemous to some people. Like, I can't believe you don't like it. I'm like, well, I don't like Tim Burton. I really don't give a shit about his movies. So, so I mean, I think these movies, from my perspective, are way fucking overrated.
Okay. Owen, what are your final thoughts?
So just overall with this movie, and I guess because this is also the end of the Tim Burton movie saga, before.
Yeah, so technically the Schumacher movies fall in the same timeline.
Yeah.
But
I think
this is the end of the Tim Burton.
Yeah.
I do think Burton gets a producer credit on the third one still. Like, they had to keep his name on it.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you see it, you'll see that it
it's
not.
I remember
feel like
those movies
at all.
I mean, I remember those movies more so because obviously it's Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and then Tommy Lee Jones. Like, it's a breakneck character switch or actor switch going from Billy D. Williams to Tommy Lee fucking Jones. The only thing is they got three names, and then obviously Batman and Robin. It's got Batgirl and Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman, and obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then obviously we just
like Uma Thurman.
But it's those movies change big time. They're even more cartoonish, but it's like they took the camera and turned the camera up 20%, so you see even more. Like, this movie's turned down. Like, the world is very dark. Like, it hides a lot of the prosthetic shit, so a lot of the shit looks a lot better than the later movies does. But you can just tell tonally they're just like, hey, we want you to make a cartoon in this movie. And that's what Schumacher did,
And he made them gay.
Even Schumacher wasn't super happy with those movies either. Like, I don't think he was happy with Batman and Robin, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into all that in the
I just don't want to shit on
episode.
Schumacher. Because, he was doing what Warner Bros. Is like, hey, we're stupid, just follow our lead. Okay.
Yeah.
Owen.
Okay. He also, Joel Schumacher made Batman and Robin fuck each other, I think. But anyway.
Hey, I don't watch all of his other movies, but he did Lost Boys, and Lost Boys is one of the best vampire movies of all fucking
Yeah, I
time.
heard that was a good movie.
So, it's a great fucking vampire movie.
But yeah, just overall with this movie, there's elements that I really liked, like we talked about. I think this has probably the better of the two. Who's the main? Who plays Batman? I forgot his name already.
Michael Keaton.
Thank you. This probably has between the two Michael Keaton Batman performances. This one's probably the better one.
Yeah.
And even just in his costume design, just looks way better. And I mean that I feel like that's an important part of Batman too, is to have like a good functional looking costume.
Yeah, I agree.
And but overall, I just found the
they-
plot to be kind of like, I guess, flat for a better term. Like I liked the characters. I thought they were fun to watch. And they were well performed. I just didn't find myself like on the edge of my seat with this plot. Like it didn't keep me like all that engaged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I feel like it was kind of nothing stood out to me. Like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was gonna happen. And I know not every movie needs to have that, but I feel like with the Batman movie, you know, it's like the superhero thriller drama thing. I feel like that a lot of that's kind of an important part, especially since he's a detective. You know.
Yeah.
And this is also is a 2-hour movie too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard. Like I think the first movie was like an hour and 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you've ramped this up at least 25 minutes for this movie runtime. It's like you got to have something.
The first movie was also 2 hours.
Was this 2 hours? The first one didn't feel like 2 hours. This one I kept pausing. I kept getting bored.
I think Lance was right earlier when he said that this movie feels like it has like just a little too much crammed into it, which is funny because I've read somewhere that there was even more of this movie that was cut out, but I really don't know what could have been cut out.
Well, the Robin was cut out for sure, and I think that was probably a lot of the reason is that it felt too bloated.
Yeah.
The Two-Face thing too. That was the first draft, though,
well,
right?
The Two-Face was the draft. Yeah,
okay.
The Robin was actually part of the final script. You know, like I said, because Marlon Wayans was actually cast to play Robin, and they just ended up scrapping all the Robin stuff because probably because there was just too much.
Okay.
It's interesting. I remember you called back. You saying at the beginning of the episode they viewed Penguin as like the number 2 Batman villain, and I'm like, you've already introduced Harvey Dent. Like this movie should have, ideally, if Burton had done a third one, just to be consistent. I think that Dent should have been in this movie, and you should have like introduced his personality disorder thing. Like he's starting at the end of this movie. He
kind of
becomes Two-Face
into a third movie with Harvey Dent becoming
Two-Face. And the thing is with and I know they just recast it because it's Tommy Lee fucking Jones as Jim Carrey. Like they wanted name brand actors to go with Val Kilmer as Batman because everything was changing and they thought that probably was going to alienate some fans. So why not get more casuals in? But like Owen, like this movie does. Like the whole the Batman suit, they lived and learned on the Batman suit.
Yeah.
Like for me, there wasn't much different because I wasn't really paying attention. I just kept looking at Michael Keaton's lips for some reason.
His big sucking lips.
I mean, that sounds like stupid as hell. I'm over here like, that man's got some puffy ass lips and some blue eyes. I'm never looking at the fucking suit at this point. But I also noticed it when he's walking really fast, chasing after people because he can't run.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure he's wearing like high heels in his costume.
He's wearing lifts in his boots, because
he's like fucking short. 5'8".
Yeah,
you know. So, but I think it's funny with like I personally think like I don't know, like Burton, like as bad as this movie quote unquote did versus the box office of the first movie, Burton would have been fucking completely handcuffed. And when we get into it, it's gonna be really funny because I read it on Wikipedia that they didn't want Burton back. They're like, hey man, why don't you go do this other movie? He's like, I can still do Batman 3.
We'll get into all that kind of stuff when we do the next one. One last thing that I want to do, much like we're doing with our Friday the 13th series, because I do want to cover all the Batman movies. I want us to rank them. Now, so basically, you have to include Batman 89, Batman Returns, and the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman, because we have already covered that.
The Batman.
So what do you need? I need some pants because I ripped them.
When I rip my pants,
and I ripped my pants.
So
Holy
Lance,
shit.
what would you put those three in order? What order would you put them in?
The Batman Returns.
Okay, and Owen.
I would do Batman, Batman, Batman.
Can't go wrong with that ranking.
I would do Batman, Batman.
Batman.
Hey, we should just rank them, Cody, by like doing their theme songs. So it's like na 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 na, and there's like something's in my ass. Yeah.
All right, Owen. How would you rank those?
It's been a while since I watched The Batman, but I remember liking it a lot.
It's been fucking like years
Yeah.
since I completed that fucking movie.
Yeah, it has literally been years. But I remember enjoying it more than The Batman. But I really did like The Batman. And
Fucking just quit confusing me, goddammit. We're like, what?
The Batman 89. So I would probably put that one second. So number one would be
The
the
Batman Returns.
yeah. Number three would be Returns probably. Number one would be the Something in My
The
Ass.
Batman Returns, The Batman 89, The Batman 2022.
And so
Just
number
refer
two
to
would be
everything.
Batman 89.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's easy enough. Our overall rankings then at this moment is
What's
The
your
Batman.
rankings, Cody?
My ranking basically it'd be The Batman, but I'd put Batman Returns over Batman 89.
Okay.
But because your list are the same, our official ranking at this moment is The Batman, Batman 89, then Batman Returns. Like I said, here in 6 weeks, we'll do Batman Forever. I'm actually pretty excited. I like going back to that movie, as much as people like to shit on it, but I really enjoy it. But that's also big time nostalgia for me. So
Something.
anyway,
We'll see how it holds up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't remember. I remember George Clooney as Batman. I remember Michael Keaton. For some reason, I don't remember Val Kilmer as much. So I'm going to be very intrigued to go back and watch that movie. So
Yeah. So our next movie that we're going to be covering is
Boy.
Jason X, which I'm excited
man.
for. I know Lance is laughing, but I'm excited.
I know
for
you're
it.
excited, Cody, because you're like, I watched this on Sci-Fi TV. So
No, I
many
had the
times
DVD of
growing
this
up.
movie when I was a kid. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
dude, I bought. Yeah, maybe I already had a DVD player at the time. I feel like I got a DVD player around like 2000, maybe 2001. So I think that's one of the first DVDs I actually bought myself. I remember reading in a horror magazine at Walmart, and I saw like Jason X. He's going to be in space. I'm like, what the fuck? This is so cool. And I'm reading all these quotes. I'm like, this movie's going to do really fucking good. Because I'm a mark for Jason. I don't fucking know that this movie's low budget and they shot it in 1999 and put it on the shelf for 3 fucking years. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to watch. I have a feeling that it's not gonna be as bad as Jason Goes to Hell, but I don't think it's quite as good as Jason Takes Manhattan from a quality standpoint. You know, it feels very like low budget sci-fi TV bullshit. You know, like we're watching Alien or Species 4 on Sci-Fi. Or some stupid shit like that. So it's going to be interesting to rewatch. I haven't watched it in a while, but I've watched it plenty of times. Thinking Uber Jason looked cool or some stupid shit.
All right.
And then
Yeah,
Kill Bill
for
2,
one-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kill Bill 2 will be next. For once, we
And
actually
then
know what
Batman.
Owen's next movie is as far in
Hey, did we ever
advance.
do Small Soldiers? I feel like we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
They're actually the writer of that movie said he's wanting to do a sequel.
awesome, dude.
That'd be
I'll be
awesome.
there. That's my favorite Tommy Lee Jones performance.
No, I don't think so, buddy. I think he was great in The Fugitive.
Just wait till you see Batman
I
Forever.
don't know. I feel like he kind of wins out as a major Chip Hazard of the Commando Elite in Small Soldiers. So
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think this episode's gone long enough. So
Yep.
I'm going to wrap it up. And thanks for listening if you've gotten this far. If you enjoy this episode, please share. Please subscribe. Like it if you're watching or listening through YouTube. And until next time.
Finish him.
Off.